Okay, now in day 2 of Unit 9, we're going to be talking about the area of circles. And the formula for area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. And in your calculator, you want to make sure that you're only squaring the radius and not the pi part as well. So I'll show you what I mean by that when we do some examples. So down here, we're just going to plug and chug into our formula. So area equals pi times the radius squared. Now our radius is 4.2. So area equals pi times 4.2 squared. Now you don't need the parentheses there. It's just a habit of mine to write them. So in the calculator, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we do pi times 4.2 squared. That is how you get the correct answer. That is okay. Some people will want to do, all right, pi times 4.2 and then square that and get a completely different answer. No, we're going to only square the radius part. So this is how you want to type it into your calculator. So we get 55.42. So area equals 55.42 meters squared. All right, the second example, we're asked to find the diameter when we're given the area. Okay, so the area is pi times the radius squared. We know the area is 201. So 201 equals pi times the radius squared. So in order to get the radius by itself, we're going to divide both sides by pi. Now you might be thinking, why do we care about getting the radius? Well, if we get the radius, we can multiply that by 2 in order to get the diameter. And the only thing we have is this area. And the area is what we can use to get the diameter. The area can be used to find the radius, which gives us the diameter. All right, so let's type this into our calculator. I'm going to do 201. 201 divided by pi. So we get 63.98. 63.98 equals r squared. And then we can square root both sides. So the square root of 63.98 gives me 7.998. Well, that's going to round up to 8. So 8 is equal to the radius, which means the diameter is going to be 16 inches because the diameter is 2 times the radius. Okay, then example C, we're given the circumference is 18 pi, and then we're asked to find the area. Well, remember, circumference is 2 pi r. The circumference is 18 pi, so that equals 2 pi r. And we can divide both sides by 2 pi. The pi's will cancel, and 18 divided by 2 is 9. So the radius is 9. Then we can plug that into the area formula for a circle. So area equals pi times the radius squared. So then in my calculator, I will type that in. And again, if you want to use 3.14 for pi, that's fine. So when I type that into the calculator, I get 254.4 254.47. So 254.47 inches, square inches, because we're talking about area. So it's very important that you look at what you are given and what you are then asked to find. All right, let's look at example number 2, where we have a pizza shop that earned the title of World's Best Pizza at the 2012 International Pizza Expo. A small, medium, and large cheese pizza has an 8-inch, a 12-inch, and a 16-inch diameter respectively, and the cost is $5.99, $7.99, and $9.99. Which size is a better deal for the money? So what we're going to do is we're going to find the area of all 3 of these pizzas, and then what we're going to do is divide that with the cost to see which one gave us a better deal, which one gave us more area of pizza for the money. So the small one, if the small one had a diameter of, the diameter was 8, that means the radius is 4. So then the area is going to be pi times 4 squared, or 16 pi. And I'm going to leave it like that for now. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the medium one. Okay, the diameter is 12, which means the radius is 6. So the area is going to be pi times 6 squared, or 36 pi. And then we have the 16-inch pizza. So the large one, the diameter is 16, which means the radius is 8. That means the area is pi times 8 squared. Which will give me 64 times pi. Now you could get those as decimals, but you don't have to. We're going to do the same thing regardless. It would just be an extra step, an extra point of error or potential error if we type something in wrong. Alright, so then I'm going to, for each one, I'm going to do the area, 16 pi, and divide that by the cost, $5.99. I'm going to do that for each one of them. 36 pi divided by the cost, $7.99. This was 64 pi divided by $9.99. So I'm going to type all those into my calculator. And when I do the small one, I get 8.39. When I do the medium one, and I probably should show this in case you're having trouble with your calculator, but mine doesn't want to turn on. Okay, so 36 pi divided by 7. Oops, the divide button didn't get hit. That gives me 14.15. And then I'll do the last one, which is 64 pi divided by $9.99, and you get 20.13. So the large pizza is a better deal. And you will see that usually when you get a larger amount of something, the deal is better. That's why people like shopping at Costco, because since they're buying so much, they get a better deal on it. All right, let's look at the next page. So we're painting an accent wall in the dining room, and there's an arched doorway. Below is a sketch of the dimensions. A small can of paint can cover 100 square feet. How many cans of paint should I buy? So we're trying to fill this whole wall with paint. Well, obviously we don't need to cover the doorway with paint. So what we need to do is figure out how much area is just in the wall. Now the area of the rectangle, the whole wall, should be fairly easy to calculate. It's 20 by 12. So the area of this is going to be 20 times 12. So the area of that, use a calculator just to make sure. We get 240. So the wall is 240 square feet, and you may think, well, that should just buy 3 cans of paint to have a little left over. Well, the doorway here may be enough area to make it that we only need 2 cans. So now we have to deal with this doorway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, draw this rectangle here that has 4 as your width and 9 as your height. So the area of this, I'm going to write it over here. So the area of that doorway, the bottom part of it, not this circle on the top right here, we'll worry about that in a minute, is going to be, this part's going to be 4 times 9, or 36 square feet. Now, we have to worry about this up here. Well, it's half a circle, so if we can find the area of the whole circle, pretend that this whole circle is here, and then cut it in half, that will tell us how big that half circle is, that semicircle. Well, if this distance is 4, that means this distance is 4 as well, which is the diameter. We cut that in half. This gives us a radius of 2. So in that semicircle, the radius is 2. Then we can do the area equals pi times the radius 2 squared. And actually, instead of writing r here, we know that this is 2 because it's half of the diameter. So this will equal 4 times pi. We type that into the calculator, and I think it's 12.56, but I'm going to double check. 12.57. So the area of the doorway, so the doorway is going to be 36 plus 12.57, which is, so 12.57 plus 36 is 48.57. So that is the area of the whole doorway, arch and all. Now the whole wall was 240, so we're going to do 240 minus 48.57. And that equals 191.43. Alright, so that will feet is our units. So that's how much area we have to cover with our paint, and each can covers 100 feet. So we need 2 cans of paint. And we'll have a little bit left over. Alright, let's look at example 4. It says here that in the figure the radius of circle A is twice the radius of circle B and 4 times the radius of circle C. So that means obviously A is the largest, and the radius of A is 2 times that of B, the radius of B. And the radius of A is also 4 times larger than the radius of circle C. What that allows us to do is to say that the radius of circle B is 2 times the radius of circle C, because circle C is 4 times smaller than A. So I know that's a little bit confusing, but what that is saying is that, okay, if we multiply the radius of C times 2, I get B. If I multiply the radius of B times 2, I get the radius of A. Times 2, not x, times 2. So we're going to use that to our advantage. Now the sum of the circumference, so the circumference of all 3 of these circles added up is 42 pi. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that to figure out the radius of the smaller circle. So 42 pi is equal to, and I'm going to have 3 circumference formulas written down. So the circumference of the smallest circle, that's going to be 2 pi r, because that is the smallest radius. Now the second circle, the circle B, that radius is 2 times the smaller one. So it's going to be 2 pi, but not r, times 2r, because circle B is 2 times the size of circle C. And then for the largest circle, circle A, the radius of that one is 4 times the smallest one. So then what we can do is we can multiply these numbers and combine our like terms. So we get 42 pi equals 2 pi r plus 4 pi r plus 8 pi r. And then we can combine like terms. 42 pi is equal to 2 plus 4 plus 8 is 14 pi times the radius. And then we divide both sides by 14 pi, and that will give us 3 is equal to r. So the radius is 3, and that's the radius of this small circle. Okay, so for the small circle, r is equal to 3. For the medium circle, and actually I should label these correctly, so circle C, I'm going to erase all this. So circle C, r is equal to 3. For circle B, r is equal to 2 times that, or 6. And for circle C, the radius is 4 times the small one, or 12. Or you can say 2 times circle B, the medium one, and get 12 as well. So now the question is asking us, find the measure of AC. Well, AC has 1 radius of the long circle, so 12. It has 2 radii of the medium-sized circle, or circle B, and 1 radius of circle C, which is going to be 3. So then CB, sorry, not CB, AC, that's what we're asked to find, is going to be 3 plus 6 plus 6 plus 12, which will equal 27. 3 plus 6 plus 6 plus 12, just wanted to make sure, yep, 27. And then part B is saying find the total area of all three circles. So I'm going to take this information here and plug it into the area formulas and then add them all up. Now there probably is a way to do this a little bit faster, but I just like the idea of doing them separately so I can make sure I get each one of them right. So for circle C, that's going to be pi times the radius squared, so 3 squared, which is going to be 9 pi. For circle B, that is going to be pi times 6 squared, or 36 pi. And then for circle A, sorry, all the way up here, I messed that up. Circle A, that's going to be pi times 12 squared, or 144 pi. So now I have to add these all up because the question's saying what is the total area of all three circles. So 9 pi plus 36 pi plus 144 pi, that will equal 36 plus 144, 189 pi. And then if you wanted to make that a decimal, the question doesn't say you have to, but you can if you want in this case. We get 593.76. A lot of people struggle with leaving answers in terms of pi, like leaving pi in your answer. Most of the time that is acceptable, unless it says to the nearest decimal or nearest tenth or something like that. And we don't have those words in these directions. So get used to leaving your answers with pi in them. Okay. So I hope that this kind of made sense. Area of a circle you've probably done before. But then again, we took that to the next level with these three problems on the back page. So you may need to rewatch this part for how we got some of those things. So good luck, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.